All right, welcome to the Hat Trick Podcast with Mike and Leo, episode 3.
Episode 3, yo, yeah.
All right, Leo, you're
Sorry.
super aggressive for our third episode. I can't believe we made it this far.
Me too, considering.
I know. Considering what it takes to edit it. Well, you edit it. Yeah.
I do all the...
And we had a music intro. And outro.
Yes, we had music, and we had a lightning round
You
song.
were true to your word, Lisa.
I know.
I almost called you Lisa, but accident.
It's right, Lisa. I hope you're listening.
It's not creepy at all.
But yeah, because I said we're gonna put music on that specific moment, and when you listen to episode 2, if you haven't, what are you doing?
Check it out now.
Yeah, because you're an episode behind.
That's right.
Or ahead.
What kind of time dimension have we traveled into?
I don't know.
All right, okay, we've rambled long enough. So if you don't know what the Hat Trick Podcast is about,
You're gonna find out today.
Exactly. So I put in 5 topics. Leo puts in 5 topics. We both pick 3, or we in total pick 3 topics out of the hat at random, and we just talk about the topics. At the end of our 3 topics, we have a special lightning round.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be super silly. This one for this lightning round, so I really suggest you guys stick around for it. So Leo, you first want to talk about something that kind of directly affects your field, right?
Yes. So as you may or may not know, for those listening in, I actually work in the film industry, and something that's crazy huge that happened recently is the firing of James Gunn. He's the director of, or was the director of Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2. And recently Disney just canned him because they went back into his back catalog through his Twitter account, and they found a bunch of these, I guess, crude tweets, crude humor tweets in regards to, let's say, pedophilia and like pedophilia jokes and stuff like that. And we've talked about this briefly, Michael and I, and while I kind of land on the fence of, I understand where Disney's point of view is coming from because of the whole
their kid organization,
and they're appealing to that, that demographic and their whole PR system.
Sure.
I just find it's kind of shitty that they didn't give him a chance to just explain himself, and he kind of wrote out that he's changed as a person, and those tweets, granted, like they were 10 years ago. I don't think they express who they are as a person now, right?
Sure. Yeah.
I know Dave Bautista he's not happy at all.
Yeah,
he commented on the
tweeted that he's not happy about it.
Yeah. And my whole thing is, I think they kind of just were too quick to axe him like right off the bat. So something kind of tells me that maybe they knew about it. I think they knew about it. I think they knew probably his history, and they're just kind of keeping on like the down low. But if the stuff ever surfaced, they'd probably pull the plug, which I think that's what happened. Mm-hmm. But granted, 10 years ago, like he's to sound these tweets, which like I see where the humor is, and obviously not many people will. Right, depending if you can,
dark humor.
Yeah, like it's dark humor. Like he's not endorsing these acts, but there's a lot of evidence and a lot of tweets that said like, okay, like where do we kind of draw the line? But then again, it was 10 years ago, and and roughly they say like every 7 years you kind of change as a person. So.
Sure. So,
I mean, in 10 years, like, you definitely weren't the same person you were before, and he acknowledges that, but, I mean, it's just quite unfortunate that, he's in that predicament.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'll be honest, like, I didn't really find those tweets funny. I don't know, that's not, I do like dark humor.
Yeah.
I don't really like that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, like, I think, I guess, like, as part of it, like you were saying to me before, like, it's absurdist humor. So it's like the part of the reason why it's so funny is because it's so messed up.
It's meant to shock you. It's so like it's so out there. It's so left. It's so left field.
And I guess that's personally where I don't know. I understand where Disney's coming from. Mm-hmm. And like you're in film, so I'm in PR.
Yeah.
So the smartest thing probably to do was to can them right away.
Yeah.
Because if they waited like even like a day or two, they would have been roasted for it basically
for their public image.
And unfortunately, that's kind of what not necessarily unfortunately, but whether it be good or not, you kind of have a reputation to uphold.
Yeah.
And ultimately, if it's different if it's like Warner Brothers or let's just say another company. It's maybe that skews a little bit more adult, but even I think it's just
it really depends because especially with all the allegations that have happened in 2017, right now leading into 2018, the tolerance is at an absolute zero, right? For me, it's him getting axed is just this is another creator. And he's made a name for the Guardians of the Galaxy because up until the first, when the first one dropped, no one knew who they were. No one knew if it was like a Marvel film or whatever. It's like, it has a Marvel name, right? But who are these cast of characters that eventually tie into the like MCU and on all these other films? And the first one was like an instant success, right? The second one was kind of fell flat a little bit, but when the first one, right out of the gate, like it was everyone loved it.
Yeah, for sure. It seems like he's a good person. Unfortunately, he made a lot of mistakes in those tweets where you shouldn't tweet those out. And if you find that funny, I feel like you shouldn't kind of tweet those things out. It's kind of controversial.
That's the thing, right? Yeah. It's on a platform that promotes free speech. So
fair.
But I mean,
you have to realize the consequences of
that's the thing
when you tweet it out.
That's the thing with free speech. Yeah. Is that people are allowed to express that as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, for sure. Anyway, well, I think we said all we had to say about that.
Best of luck, James Gunn. Hopefully you find better projects in the future.
Yeah.
Godspeed, I guess.
Godspeed. All right, man. So I think you picked first last time.
Did I pick first last time? No, you picked first last time.
No, I think you did. I think I did. Yes. Okay, so you picked then. Yeah, I did. It is.
Yeah. Okay, so I pick. Okay, so let's see. I'm gonna close my eyes and try to just feel it out.
Just fucking pick one.
Sorry.
Okay, first topic.
Oh my goodness. All right.
What's this?
So, first topic is worst time you got drunk.
I just added this today.
Actually? Yeah. Oh my goodness. Okay.
All right.
Worst time I got drunk. Okay, so there's two occurrences.
All right. No, try and... Okay, the first one, the best one, keep the best one, like, go into it. The second one, just go very brief.
Okay. So the best one, this was a family function.
Oh fuck!
So let me throw it back a little bit. My cousins just got their brand new property, up in like I guess northern GTA area or whatever, and my uncle's celebrating his 50th birthday. At the time, I was 17. I was a young buck, and everybody and everyone was invited to this party, right? So I don't mean everyone, like my whole family, and like I come from an Italian family, so we have a pretty large family, like with cousins, as at least second cousins. So like my mother's side, which is they have a lot of cousins, but obviously like I'm cool with them, right? It's people I haven't seen in like forever. So this party starts, and I'm having like shot after shot, and I'm like, what?
It's open bar.
It's open bar. It's like
you're in for trouble.
So it's basically this. It's a 50th birthday. My parents are having fun, they're doing whatever, and I'm just sneaking around my cousin, and I'm having a drink. He's not drinking too much, but I'm having a drink literally with every guest there. And there was this one dude that he was a friend of my uncle's and became a friend of mine, and then we were both just drinking together.
Your drinking buddy.
And he was just my drinking buddy for the night, and it was such a bad combination. He was like 40 something.
Oh God.
Yeah, I was 17. And I'm just going, like, just going like shot for shot. And I was like, I literally was mixing everything from like cognac to anything that could fit in a shot glass. I had it. Cognac, whiskey, like vodka, just everything.
All right.
So later in the evening, I just I just remember, or the last thing I remember is fireworks going off, and then afterwards, my cousin Anthony, he dragged me into the house, right? And I just remember being dragged into the house, and on the way dragged into the house, I remember seeing a police officer.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah, so they dragged me into the house, and then
you're underage.
Well, yeah. Let me get back. Let me get to that. So they dragged me to the house, and then afterwards, I was at a table, and then I was sitting with him, and then that's it. And then I woke up, and I was in my parents' bed, and I'm like, how the hell did I get here? So let me rewind what happened. And so basically, they did
just like the hangover.
Basically, the hangover. So it turns out I got so plastered that I almost died that night.
Oh God.
Yeah, so I got so drunk, and they did fireworks, but because the property they live on, they have next door neighbors are they have like horses and stuff. So all the fireworks like startled all the horses to the point where the neighbors are like douchebags. They like call the cops and they're like, "Oh, the next door neighbors are doing fireworks. Get over there," kind of thing. So then the cops came to shut down the fireworks. And then my cousin evacuated me because I was underage and I was drinking and I was hammered out of my mind. I couldn't even stand up straight. That he had to throw me in the house like a sack of potatoes, right? Next thing you know, I'm like passing out. He brings me. This is the story that people have collected, right? And they're like, he brings me over to this pool house, puts me on my back. He's like, yeah, to my mom, like, hey, your son is like done, right? And then. And my mom,
this is my favorite part.
She's the best. So she puts me on my side, right? So I put him on the side. Okay.
Right.
She leaves me for 2 seconds, and then apparently, I just throw up everywhere.
Oh no, that's not the part that I thought you were gonna say.
No. Oh, it's coming up. It's coming up. I know what you're talking about. So I just throw up everywhere, according to everyone. So that was basically to signify like that's the end of the party. So my parents thought I was dead, and my mom literally grabbed me, and what everyone's saying, like, dude, I don't even know how you don't have any bruises or whatnot, because my mom was just feeding me up. she was like, so my mom's a very she's a strong person. She's a strong person, strong Italian woman, and she was just feeding me uppercuts and punches just to wake me up. But I was just out cold. And then they brought me home where my nonna was waiting. She's like, "Oh my God, what happened to him?" And then she just joined.
She joined in?
She just joined in and started just feeding me like punches. And then I woke up the next day and I felt great. And people ask me, like, how did you feel? How do you feel? I'm like, I feel great. Like, what happened? And everyone's just like, dude, you got like 1,000 punches to the face. You also threw up on yourself. Like,
I think like you had so many punches to the head that it had like the opposite effect. It didn't affect you.
I came full circle. Yeah. And I just like, oh my God, I'm so messed up. Now I'm great.
Yeah. That's
and then, that was my worst.
That's the great things about being young is no hangovers.
That was like, listen, let me tell you something. That was my first time really getting like drunk, and it's still
I hope so.
And it's still
17 years old.
It's still my worst time. Like, there's nothing's ever touched that, and I don't plan on ever getting that state again.
So what's your second one?
Oh God.
All right, so just laughing at it.
Oh man.
Come on, dude.
I gotta say St. Paddy's Day.
Okay.
I gotta say St. Paddy's Day a few years ago.
It's a bad night for everyone.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, you were there too. You were drinking. You went home early.
Oh, was it a hotel?
That one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So when you're underage,
oh God.
You guys do these things called hotel parties, and yes. Because sneaking in alcohol and drinking isn't just like obviously that's what you got to do. So we booked out a hotel room. Everyone snuck in. All a few 10 buddies of mine, and we're drinking. We're having fun. I'm like, I don't feel so good. I don't know what's going on. One of my good friends, she's like, hey,
Candace?
Well, we'll call her Candace.
Okay.
For confidentiality.
All right.
And she's like, listen, if you don't feel so good, put your finger down your throat. And I'm like, no. And I'm like, really? And I'm like, because you're drunk, you just believe everything. He's like, yeah, that's what makes me feel better. And I'm like, oh, okay, I trust you. And I did that, and I instantly passed out. I instantly passed out. I apparently So apparently I threw up and I just KO'd, and I woke up. My pants were missing. I was just in my underwear, and I'm like, what is going on? I mean, I'm fortunate. I always wake up, amongst friends and stuff like that, and people that care for me.
Particularly next to another friend, right?
Yeah, I woke up next to another friend of mine, and I'm like, oh god. But I don't think anything happened. I think I'm okay.
Fantastic.
It was just so stupid.
Was he fully clothed?
Yeah. I don't know what happened. Apparently they said your clothes got destroyed or whatever, so we had to take all your clothes off. I'm like, bro, people just stripping me? Like, what the hell's going on?
What else did you do to me?
What else did you do to me? I'm just here to have drinks. Oh my god.
All right, so that's your story.
Yeah.
Okay,
Sorry, I went off the rails with that one.
No, it's all good. It's always fun stories. Okay, so my worst time I got drunk was on my 21st birthday.
Oh, buddy.
So this is a great spot called Williams Landing. It's in Oakville. And so Leo was there, a bunch of my other friends were there. And okay, yeah. So anyway, so we went to Williams Landing, and all right. So for your 21st birthday, it's kind of like a big birthday. I don't really know why. I guess in the States for 21st you can start legally drinking.
Yeah.
But in Canada, I don't know. It's still kind of the same thing too.
It's because now you're illegal everywhere.
That's fair.
That's why.
Fair.
So it's just like you can drink.
You can drink everywhere. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So the night we were just drinking. People were feeding me shots. I had about maybe 10 or 11 friends there, but I was pretty okay. And when when you're messed or you fucked up is when you're trying to mess with people. You're like, I'm not that drunk. I'm just gonna pretend like I'm drunk. So that was my mindset the whole night, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now the waiter, all my friends ordered me a shot pretty much all at once, and there was 5 shots in a row. The waiter was like, "Do not drink all those shots." No, it wasn't the waiter. It was my friend, I think Nick. He's like, "Don't drink all those shots in a row." So when you're drunk, you have that liquid courage moment. You're like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna do it." Don't tell me no. Don't tell me not to do that. So I did it. I did all in a row, right? I got a few claps. I'm like, "Oh my god, look at this guy! He's a hero. He's a fucking champ."
Yeah.
15 minutes later, I'm starting to feel it. I feel it really well, right? But I'm still thinking I'm messing with people.
Mm-hmm.
I go to the bathroom. I just going to do number one. I fall to my knees, not during number one, and I'm like, no, I'm not fucking people. I am actually fucked. I am actually fucked up, and I don't remember much from that point on. I remember my friends. I think Vith was carrying me at one point.
Okay, let me tell you.
And Nick drove me home.
Yeah.
Poor Nick. I had to also I was vomiting in his car.
Oh my, yes.
He brought me home.
I was texting him the entire time because he had to sneak into your house with you and put you on the bed and just make sure you're okay to sleep. Put you on your side, change your sheets, always your mom waking up or whatnot.
Oh my god!
But
so much fun.
Okay, let me tell you some of the drinks that were in that lineup. Just the names.
Grappa.
There's grappa. Tequila. There's one. It was a mixed drink, and it was
Rocky something, right?
Yeah, Rocky Mountain Bear Fuck.
Oh,
listen.
fuck.
So when you have, I'm like, what's that? And I was like, oh, what is this? I'm like, yeah, I'm ordering that for him. There's another one that was liquid cocaine.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
a standard.
That was a good startup one. Yeah. But yeah, when your lineup is grappa, which is 40% of just pure ass.
Oh my god, yeah.
Rocky Mountain Bear Fuck. The bartender's just right.
Dude, don't. Grappa is really bad. It puts hair on your chest.
It's a digestive. It's supposed to you're supposed to have it after a hearty meal, and then that's what you're one shot, and it's okay, you're good, right?
We did not do that.
No, you were mixing it with other things. You're okay, grappa, digest the other alcohol, and
so yeah,
get to work. Yeah, I remember. Yeah,
that was awful.
You were done. I'm like, hey, my cousin, cousin going.
And I completely missed the trash can too.
Oh my god, that was the best. It's just Mike, right here, aim for the can, aim for the can.
All right, so my second story. So this is just like kind of like a regular night. I think me and my friend Vith, we used to go clubbing a lot actually at one point. But my friend Vith is always late. So we go pre drinking, pre drinking, but we didn't have that much time to pre drink. So I had wine. I was chugging wine.
You dumbass.
I know. I basically chugged. You ever heard the story? Okay, so I chugged wine. And I feel pretty okay after. Like I go to this club near me, and I feel it, but I don't feel it too much. So I go inside the club. I go to the bathroom. I walk out. I don't remember anything. I blacked out. I basically blacked out. I only remember going outside the club and vomiting. Basically going to my room, sleeping. That's it.
Amazing.
And
that's pretty solid. Like you were able to like get out relatively clean.
Part of the reason why was because Vith was like he carried me up the stairs to go to the bathroom. Yes.
Why do clubs have
stairs? I know it's a bad idea.
And washrooms at the top of the stairs. Even at the bottom. That's just dumb.
That's just a bad idea.
Like people are gonna drink. That's a recipe for someone to break their neck.
Yes. Well, okay. This is just like lesson number 4 from this podcast. From this short discussion of worst drunk moments. Don't chug wine. Also, make sure if you do get fucked up, you have friends.
Yeah.
Not only one friend too. Don't be fucking a dick to your friends. Maybe try and bring like some other friends, so maybe some of your friends can have fun, and maybe some other people could be like parents.
Well, I mean that, but also, what possessed you to drink wine?
I kind of like that time, and but like I chugged it and it was bad.
Yeah, because wine is like. You know what wine is? It's just you slowly sip it, drink it.
Not that night.
You fucking pirate.
I was like a pirate. I was vomiting blood.
Yeah, it was
basically not actual blood.
Yeah,
basically
it
was like The Exorcist.
Yeah.
Like.
Oh my god, Michael! You want to talk about let's flip this one around and talk about best drunk nights?
So as a second topic.
No, just going to expand on this one. I got one.
Okay, I got one. You got one.
You were there too.
Okay.
Nick's party. Wait. Oh my god.
Oh god. Yeah.
So we go to this club, and that's a pretty good night for you too.
That was a good night for me.
So we go to this club before we
Dragonfly. It's in Niagara Falls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep telling people where we are. Keep geolocating.
It's in fucking Niagara Falls.
Yes,
dude.
people will backtrace us and find us. I'm not
gonna say the exact
crazy people.
September.
So we went to this. We pre-drank. We went to this this fall, like this Niagara Falls. I bought this bottle of amaretto because I like amaretto. And don't judge me.
Oh, Disaronno.
Yeah, Disaronno. Yeah, it's amaretto.
Oh, okay.
It's the best, like the brand.
Oh, okay.
So I like that stuff. No one else likes it. So what? You don't mind it.
Yeah.
So I had this whole bottle to myself. Yep. So this is like whatever, 30% alcohol of whatever the bottle is, plus however much sugar. There's actually a lot of sugar in it. So I'm walking into this club like amped.
Yep.
Like we are out here to like win.
That's a good club too. At least it was when we went.
I mean,
like, all the songs were good.
So yeah, I remember like all the Euro beats or whatever, and then all I remember from the club was I had my shirt off at one point.
Yes, you did.
I made up with some chick, I don't remember what she looked like. I feel like she was bad.
She was not good.
She was not really.
She was also kissing every other guy. She pointing at me, and she's like, she just touched her lips with her finger, and I'm like, no, thank you. I'm good.
So maybe that wasn't a good time. No,
it was a good time because we ended up going to the casino after.
All right, now this is what's cool.
Yeah.
So, oh god, I should go get checked.
Because they let you in, even though you were so much more drunk than I was.
This was hilarious. I'm like struggling to like stand up straight. Like my head's like my eyes are like one eye's like closed, the other one's like half open, and I'm just like completely out of it. I don't know which way is left or right.
Yeah.
But like, where's your ID? Boom, here's my ID, sir. Yeah, you're in. Michael, who's looking after me, gets stopped.
I got stopped and I have to wait outside for like 15, 20 minutes.
15, 20 minutes. Finally, Michael comes in. He gets into this casino, and I'm like, "Yo, Mike, let's go play the slots." And I'm like, and I think I put like
You put like max bet, I think, at first. And then I'm like, no, don't get max bet.
No.
And then I think you eventually did that.
No, I always did max bet. You always
think you did.
Listen, rule number 1: you go to the casino and you go to the slots machine. You do max bet. Listen, if you go to the casino and expecting to lose your money, you will never be wrong.
That's a good lesson. You expect to lose your money when you.
If you expect to, yeah. So I think I walked in with like $20.
Yeah.
I walked out. Not bad. I walked out with like 400.
It's not bad.
Listen, like there's people win big money in the casino.
Yeah,
so
those people who lose $400 easily.
That's true. So I walked out with 400. I gave 100 to Mike because Mike was because he was sticking around and he was my lucky charm. He's like, don't do max bet. I fucking do max bet. I just doing max bet and and then we both walked home with something.
Great night. We're gonna fist bump.
Yeah.
All right. You can't see that on the video, we don't have video, so
you can't hear it on the audio. But it was a very solid fist bump. Like I felt my knuckles interlocking with Michael's, and
it was like a handshake fist bump.
It was like it was a good moment.
Can we add that in post effect
like a yeah.
Fuck it, might be too long.
Yeah, a little bit.
All right. This is the second topic. What will your career look like in 10 years? So this is also one of mine. This is for my assignment. I did this. We're talking about worst drunk moment ever. We're talking about our career in 10 years. Jesus Lord. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
So I had an assignment in digital culture. I referred to this class last podcast. I had to do an assignment where I had to think about what my career would look like in 10 years. So since I'm in PR, I talked about like 3 topics, basically. I said different social media platforms.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably inevitable. We probably won't be sticking with Instagram, Facebook, Twitter as the main ones.
Well, there's this new one, Vero, that's coming.
Yeah, I know. That's actually, I included that in my.
Hey, look at you getting on the track.
There was 2015. There was an article that said like it's going to be the next big thing. 2018, there was an article. It's like it looks like it's like dying out because they were basically promising that it would always be free because there was like this billionaire or whatever who was a CEO.
Yes.
But then they said that that it's free until further notice. So I think personally the future is paid social media.
Bring back Vine.
That too. Fucking bring back Vine and also paid social media. So like I'm thinking like maybe like a future where we spend money to make sure our social media are like there's no bots, there's no ads, that kind of thing. Like basically like YouTube and shit like that. Okay, that's my first topic. My second topic.
There is YouTube Premium, right?
I know exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, like you're gonna have to put a premium on your Facebook or whatever, like your new Facebook. Second one was kind of branding. It wasn't like the best, to be honest. My third topic was AI. So basically, AI is already talking to people, saying like if you have an issue, they'll talk back to you and they'll be like, okay, sorry for the mishap. We're going to fix it right away, that kind of thing.
Well, yeah, even as basic as just, Google Maps is AI.
Well, I'm just saying for PR purposes.
Oh, PR purposes. Yeah. Oh,
like,
sorry.
Okay, no, it's a problem. No, and it's not 100% yet. It's still a little bit wonky. And as I referred to in my assignment, it's like, it's robotic sounding. The whole part is... And I was online typing too. So anyway, that's kind of what I think my career looked like in 10 years. But it's obviously hard to say. You can't predict the future. Digital culture has changed so much in the last 10 years. So, but I'm excited for what's going to happen next. I think with NPR, but we're gonna figure it out. I'm actually really curious to hear what film will look like in 10 years, in your opinion.
So I actually have this conversation quite a bit. Some of my other colleagues, and we all have just different opinions. One thing that's getting really popular now, which kind of actually just ties into your PR like topic on social media, is vertical video. So typically, obviously, when you're shooting like film, and every film you go to see in the cinema is it's 16:9, and then you have your cinema structures or whatever, different widescreen. But let's say if you're holding your phone sideways, is 16:9 and records, and horizontal. But because of social media consumerism, right? If you're on Instagram or Facebook where everything is vertical, people are doing the opposite.
It's already happening.
Yeah, and it's already happening, and that trend is starting, and everything's being 9:16, and now 9:16 vertical shooting is becoming very, very popular amongst creators and different filmmakers, at least in the consumer world. Film and cinema is very a broad subject. So if talking, I guess from a consumer standpoint, vertical cinema's kind of coming in as like this new way of integrating, let's say, advertisements to those platforms, right? But going further and going forward,
what will films look like in 10 years?
I'm going to touch upon that. I think things will kind of actually revert back to how film used to be, because now there's actually this calling back to actually just shooting back on film stocks.
Okay.
So for the longest time, people shot on actual film stocks, and then afterwards, it wasn't until like pretty much George Lucas kind of came in and pushed for digital, and now everyone's shooting on digital and doing all this because it's much more easier, much more tangible. But people like the look of film. This film's got like that grain and like that aesthetic texture that you can't achieve with digital unless you kind of digitally produce it, right? So people are saying, why digitally produce it? We have the technology that works so well with the old technology. Let's just shoot on film, convert that film to digital while we're cutting it, but at least you can still maintain that digital look. I mean, that film look, right? So people are kind of going backwards and shooting on film.
Yeah.
And they're doing that. But now there's a whole thing with like VR cinema,
that's true,
and you can like look around and all those like 360.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking we might see something in the future where VR cinema might become a thing.
What about
I'm thinking. Oh, sorry. Go on.
Well, no, I mean I don't want to cut you off of your own career, but what about like AI writing scripts?
Oh yeah.
Because like there's actually already like a YouTube video with Thomas Middleditch, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it was pretty poorly written. The robot wrote poorly.
Yeah, they made him. I think. What did they do? They make the robot watch so many different
sci-fi movies, basically.
Sci-fi movies, and then just write like a script.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
do you think you're going to be replaced by a robot in 10 years?
Absolutely not. A writer? I don't think so.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you have to write with emotion. It's easy to just write words on a page.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
But to evoke something like, you know what I mean?
I think we were talking about this in my class. I think the great thing about writing is the flow of it. The flow, the underlying meaning of it. Mm-hmm. I think it's so hard. It's so hard to write well to begin with. Like, not every human can write well.
Well, this is the thing, right? At least with cinema and just films in general, it all starts off with a script, right? The director that's chosen is the best person that you can get to represent whatever that script has. Okay. So you imagine the script is a piece of marble. You're getting the director who's, okay, this guy can chisel it down to the statue of David, right? Because that's what the writer envisions, right? At the end of the day, it's the director to try to get as close to the writing as possible. So if the writing is shit, you can only make shit, right? So that's like kind of like the focal point of it all.
Sure.
Will AI replace that? No, I don't think so. I know my job is like a robot can't replace, because I do a lot of assistant directing and like stuff like that, which is
a lot of like on the set kind of stuff, right?
Yeah. So for those that don't know what assistant directing is, we don't deliver coffees to directors. That's what people like to like. Because if you ever watch the credits, you'll probably see like, oh, assistant director or whatever, or second unit director or whatnot. And essentially what assistant director does is you're kind of almost like a producer. You're like an on-set producer. So you're the eyes and ears for the producer that's off the set, and you're kind of making sure the movie actually gets made. You work with the director and the director of photography to try to come to an agreement of, the director wants his vision, the director of photography wants their shots, and you're the person that kind of has to wrangle the whole ship of the crew. So the director directs the actors, the assistant director directs the crew, and you're kind of you drive the ship. You're the hired boss, pretty much.
Okay.
So I think I'm pretty safe for the next 10 years. I mean, I hope so. And hopefully a robot doesn't come in and it's like initiating protocol. Please set up dollies here. And that's like, like all this equipment and shit like that. But yeah, from a cinema perspective, VR cinema, I think it's going to become a thing, which I think would be so interesting from a horror perspective. I'm not a huge fan of like horror movies, but imagine like VR horror like films, where you can look in the cinema and like imagine a 360 kind of cinema experience.
Pretty cool.
That'd be kind of neat.
I dig that. Yeah. All right, man. So let's go on to our third and final topic for today.
Okay, let's figure it
go
out.
into our lightning round.
Oh yeah.
I promise will be a silly one.
Okay.
A silly one.
Okay. Let me
You're gonna shuffle all of them up. All right.
Yeah, no. I just like keep it like super random. I feel like this is a Michael one.
Really?
I feel like it's a Michael one.
A triple 3 from Michael.
I can't tell if this is my rating or your rating.
Okay. What is it? What does it say?
Tinder.
That's your rating.
That's my rating?
All right.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Tinder. Okay, well, I guess I'll start out.
Like, am I stupid? Why would I just write Tinder?
I know. Like,
unless,
it's so open-ended.
It's such an open-ended question. I could talk about this for another 3 podcasts.
All right, well, Tinder. Okay. So, I referred to this a couple times. I am not single. I'm in a relationship with my girlfriend. Her name is Lisa. We actually met on Bumble. So basically what that means is fuck Tinder. Fuck it. But
don't sell my boys, eh? That's the best. Okay, anyways.
Okay, anyway, Tinder is a cesspool. It's cancer. It's bad. It's bad, man. It's swiping left and right. Bumble's basically the same thing.
You have unlimited likes on Bumble. For those that don't know what Bumble is, hopefully you know what
it's Tinder but better.
So Bumble. There's unlimited likes, and the girl just has to message first.
Exactly. What if you're in a lesbian relationship? What if it's?
I thought about that.
Yeah, I just thought of it. Just thought of it now.
But like, what happens if you're like homosexual, like 2 homosexual males? Like, do you just not talk? Do you just? It's like
you'll get a message from Bumble. What the fuck are you using Bumble for? Go to Grindr. What the fuck?
Yeah, it's just like if you match, it's just like, well, that's it. You matched. Congratulations. You're not talking.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's like I should write a question. So like, what happens? I mean, maybe either or can message first.
Maybe it's like a random thing. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Yeah. Sorry. So Tinder. Okay. So I've had a lot of not success, a lot of failures on Tinder. Mm-hmm. I've had like a couple of coffee dates from Tinder, and honestly, man, I hate talking on texting. I'm so bad. I'm 23 years old, and I can't fucking text, man. People, I looked up videos.
You're looking at me like it's like a fundamental problem in your life right now.
It's not. Thank God, no, it's not. But I'm so upset about it because I looked up fucking videos on how to, because I'm an idiot.
Yeah, idiot, but like...
And Tinder is stupid.
Tinder is stupid. It is stupid, but tell me, all these videos probably just said, like...
Basically, like...
Be yourself.
No.
What do you mean?
Be yourself.
Yeah, be yourself.
Be yourself is a great advice for in person.
Okay, let me tell you something.
It's not... the look he gave me is like, almost like, remember that scene in Inception where Leonardo DiCaprio is talking to Joseph Gordon-Levitt? It's like... Just that exact look, that meme.
Yeah.
Just like look that Leo gave me.
Let me tell you something about Tinder. I'm telling you about my story about. I mean, are you done? First,
I guess. What's your story?
Okay, don't you like the whole story of how I got on this mess? Because I have
truth.
The truth. So I have a lot of success on Tinder. I have a lot of. I'm not trying to brag or anything.
You're a fuckboy delete.
No, but I actually have a lot of matches.
Like, oh, okay, all right.
I'm just saying.
All right.
And I'm just saying, and it's and it's not hard to get matches. You just have to have the
You
right.
gotta be good looking.
No, you don't. You don't.
I disagree.
Like
You
I'm
gotta
an
be
average.
6'10".
I'm an average looking hobbit. Okay, like like listen. I mean, if you're 6 feet plus with a beard on Tinder, good luck. You're playing the game on easy. So I'm playing the game on at least heroic difficulty. My beard doesn't connect, and I stand about 5'7". So let me just tell you what the specs are here.
All right, let's be honest. You're not 5'7".
I am 5'7".
You're 5'6".
Okay, 5'6". So even more of a point to say when I got I had almost 900 matches.
All
You're
right.
looking at
All right.
And I'm not.
How many of those people have you met?
You want to hear the funny thing? I think I've met more people on Bumble than I have on Tinder.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, no. Maybe not. No, maybe not.
Okay.
Because...
Okay, Leo.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Bumble's easy to secure the deal, but Tinder's easy to get matches and talk.
I guess so.
Tinder's like the pregame towards Bumble, because Bumble is this
Bumble is a pregame to Tinder?
No, Tinder's like the pregame to Bumble.
Oh, okay. You're saying Tinder's like the minor leagues and Bumble's more like the major leagues?
No, it's like if you could do well on Tinder, you could do well on Bumble, I guess.
I don't know. I don't know.
So anyways, with Tinder, how I started off was I never told you this. I think I told you this story. But anyways, I went on. So I was dating this chick.
Yep.
Stephanie, you remember Stephanie from the first episode?
We're gonna do a callback.
So callback to Stephanie in the first episode. If you haven't checked out our first episode, check it out because
we talk about the worst date ever.
Worst date ever, featuring Stephanie and her other friend Karen. So at the time, I was dating Stephanie, and we actually went on a break. So I found it was a heart-wrenching moment. My heart was torn in pieces. We went on a break. I went to school the next day, and I don't know if it was some divine intervention, right? It was my first day being on a break, whatever the fuck that is,
Yeah.
And all my friends in my program were on Tinder. Imagine a circle of 20, 30 people, right? Everyone in my class.
A lot of single motherfuckers.
Yeah, everyone. Okay, yeah. So this is the thing. Everyone in my program was single the first semester, and then by the end of the program, everyone's dating.
Mm-hmm. Except for you.
Except for me, because I want shit where I eat. And so everyone's on Tinder, and everyone's just trying to find people, and they're like, Leo, join in. And all I heard was join in. And then I'm just oh, Tinder? I mean, I remember I signed up for it years ago, right? And I deleted it because I just had no luck. And then I signed into it, and then I got it again, and I trying to find people on my program.
Right.
And this literally started the downward spiral of an alcoholic, because then afterwards I was just finding people that have already swiped on me, because those when you swipe on someone, right?
Yeah.
That they're still in that database until you can download the app or whatever and swipe on them, and So I don't know, I got this boost of confidence because how many years that app was dormant with whatever pictures I had up on there, it accumulated matches, right? So I'm literally just oh my god, I'm matching with everybody, because it's
wow.
But it was 2. Now I look back, it's okay, this was 2 years or whatever accumulated matches over the time. People oh, maybe he's cool, he's kind of cute, I guess, whatever. So I got into it. I got on Tinder, and then since then I've just been finessing the game, and
Remember how you said in the first podcast that you sound like a bit of a fuckboy?
Yeah, I just realized I just said finessing the game, and it's honestly, it's the best mobile game on the phone right now. Forget
Tinder's a game where I always fucking lost.
Forget Clash of Clans,
but you fucking won.
Or Flappy Bird.
Bitch.
It's not. It's just it's just forget all that stuff. Tinder is the best game, and you can literally say anything.
Mm-hmm.
And to all the guys listening out there, never introduce yourself with hey, and you're probably who the fuck are you? Why are you gonna tell me what to say? But
who the fuck are you?
No, but hey never works.
Oh, no shit.
Hey never works. You think about it. You have girls have thousands of matches per day, right?
That's right.
right? And they see a bunch of haze, right?
Well,
you let us say something clever that they'll remember.
I never had a problem with introductions, generally. More like the problem for me was keeping the conversation going. Because I'm more of a person who likes to introduce myself in person. And also, like, before when I was single, I asked out girls in person as opposed to asking out girls over Tinder because I found it, like, it just wasn't my thing. So, being single is hard. Thank God I'm in a relationship right now.
I disagree. I think being single is like, I mean, that's where we differ. I'm
just giving you the evil eye.
I know, like, I feel the shade. I mean, it's just pretty easy.
Oh yeah, it's fucking easy. You fuck.
I just wake up. All right, let's do stuff. Let's just doing stuff. But
you know what the great thing is?
What?
Hey Lisa, do you want to hang out? Yes. It's set up.
What do you mean? Hey Mike, you want to hang out?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
the only difference is
you have to fuck around with these girls. Be like, oh my god, I love fucking dragons too. Unicorns? I love unicorns. Like, I love Maroon 5 as well.
Oh my god, the amount of lies I had to like spew. Oh my god, I should take that back. Speaking of which, from the first episode, remember we were talking about that date I was supposed to go on?
Yes.
There was a girl from Tinder. She ended up flopping. Not even flopping. It's just she's just so busy. And that's another thing. Trying to like, I'm like, yo, here's my number. We're talking this and that. And then it's like, yeah, I'm getting my master's in this thing, so I'm studying for exams. And I'm like, bro, like, what is she doing? Like, I thought we were supposed to go.
Trying to get a life?
What?
That's what she's doing.
Yeah, and I'm like, on your life. That's kidding. No, she's like super busy. So I'm like, okay, it looks like this is just gonna flop out. I gotta show you this other chick though that I matched on Tinder with, and it's pretty funny.
It's pretty funny.
It's pretty funny.
Can you let the audience in a little bit?
Okay.
So try not to use names.
Okay. So I was looking at this chick.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, she's kind of cute, or whatever. But I'm like, she looks a little bit like familiar.
Oh God.
And I'm just like, it's no one I know. This looks familiar. I'm looking at her, and she's like, yeah, here's my number. I'm like, oh, do you have Instagram? Because here's my Instagram, and then I just hand it over to her.
Okay.
So I look at her pictures, and I'll show you after the podcast.
Okay.
But everyone I show thinks she looks a little bit like Stephanie.
No.
Yeah, and I'm just like, that's what it fucking was. I'm like, that's why. I'm like, what? Why is it weird when I message this chick? It's like Throwback Thursday, and I'm just like, gotta cut. Gotta cut. But overall, Tinder's been a very
it's been a good experience for you.
It's been a pretty good experience. It really got me through some dark times because
that's the opposite for me.
Really?
Yeah.
It put you into dark times?
Put me in dark times.
Really?
Dude.
Oh my god!
You think like, oh my god, all these girls don't find me attractive, and I'm not good enough for these girls.
See, me was the opposite. I thought I'm like, I have no game, I have nothing, right? Because I wanted this break, and then as soon as like I talked about it with Stephanie, and they're saying like, okay, like what do you want to do now? And I'm like, yeah, this is done. Like this is done. Whatever. Because without going into too much detail, she kind of did some things, kind of not too good. Not good. So I'm like, well, screw it. Like you did something that's not good. I'm getting some matches on this site or whatever.
And they said
peace. And it's just like, all right, let's ride that.
Pretty much when you're on a break, quotation marks, you're pretty much just broken up.
Yeah, I know.
You should just break up.
It's the stupidest term ever. Anyone that's listening to this and it's on a break, just call it a day. Just call it a day and go on the tea grind. Just grab on Tinder and just upload those like sick pics, bro. Hold a fish or some shit.
First picture, if you have a dog, you and your dog, 1,000 fucking likes.
Okay, let me tell you this. Can I tell you the formula of what makes a good Tinder profile?
All right, so this is the fuckboy segment of this whole fucking thing is a fuckboy segment.
This whole topic is. Yeah. This whole topic is. Let me tell you what I'm gonna make a video eventually on this.
All right, Leo.
No, I have it in the works.
The fuckboy diaries.
No.
Leo.
Yeah. So, anyways, your first picture. it's got to be a medium shot. And you're probably like, why medium shot? Listen, buddy. You got to show, like...
buddy, why don't you talk to the girls, too?
What? I don't have any advice for girls. I have no... I mean, okay, girls, listen. Okay. Look at his description. Description's a huge thing.
Okay.
You know, if he's telling a joke, it's probably like, you know, probably a decent guy.
I mean, for themselves, how do they get matches on Tinder?
What do you mean? Exist. Like,
maybe like, no,
girl, exist.
Honestly, in my opinion, for anybody, this is for anybody, have a funny bio.
Yeah.
Have a funny bio. No matter if you have a dog, fucking take pictures with your dog.
No, listen, Tinder is I mean, I don't want to point like the visions or whatever. It's not the girls' game, unfortunately. It's the guys' game, you know? Bumble is all the girls. Girls, you have all the power on Bumble.
Okay. So basically, you're saying to the girls, avoid Tinder.
I would say like avoid. I mean, unless you like being messaged first, then by all means go on Tinder because that's most likely what's going to happen.
Sure.
But if you like more control and actually want to potentially find a husband, or like find a serious relationship, find someone that's super serious,
like me and my girlfriend right now.
Yeah, see, Michael's as a success story.
Michael's making this one story though.
It is a success story. He's in it to win it, and you know that's why he's dating someone and I'm not.
But don't worry, don't feel sad for Leo. He's just gonna tell you why. The success is you teased it. Just what's a rule for guys? You said one medium shot.
So one medium shot because you want to know. It's just the formula you got to follow. One first intro shot is a medium shot. Stay away from close-ups. Okay. You want to know what's the goods: arms, shoulders, and chest. Right.
Okay.
You know, masculine features. Right.
Okay.
Then afterwards, on your bio, show your different interests. What are you interested in? Don't put fishing. Fishing is no go. Do you play an instrument? Yes. Do you do anything with sports? Sure, whatever. Show your interest, and then your picture should reflect your bio description.
Okay, probably smart.
So basically, for myself,
if you like skiing,
if you have skiing, have a picture of you skiing.
Yeah.
You know,
sure.
Like some cool shit or whatever, and you know, like, and don't do group pictures. Group pictures are terrible. Take a picture with your mom. Those are good pictures.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Take a picture with your mom.
Because it gives you like brownie points, kind of.
Listen, yeah, you want to show what your interests are. Show if you have a profession. Show what your profession is. Show that you're good with family.
Cineplex.
Why? What is wrong with you?
It's okay. That's not like that.
So so once you show. Yeah, that your profession. I lost my train of thought. Show your fucking you asshole. The amount of bleeps we're gonna have to put on this thing, kind of censor. But yeah, show your interest, show your profession, and show that you're good with family. Those are like the three key components.
All right, Leo.
All right.
Okay, so I guess that's Tinder's
segment. But look,
with Leo.
Yeah, I mean, for now. But those are just my little words of wisdom
coming out. Fuck.
Well, there's words of wisdom for now. I mean, by all means, there will be more.
Take what you will. Take it with what you will. Is that the right term? Phrase?
You can take it as a grain of salt. But I was just saying, like, I did pretty good. I'm pretty proud of myself.
Hopefully.
Oh, right. You know what? if I ever decide to date like a girl in the future or whatever, I hope she never listens to this segment at all.
I will be that kind of person to be like,
you want a podcast? You want to listen to?
I just walk away and just see her face like, oh my god, and I just like put my sunglasses on.
And I was supposed to not make myself sound like a fuckboy in these episodes, and I just made it worse.
You know what, Leo? You played yourself.
And with that bombshell, let's go on to our lightning round. Start the music.
No, I started my own music.
Yeah.
Screwed up. Okay, Leo.
Start the music.
All right. So, Leo, you want to go first?
No, you go first.
All right. Okay, go.
I think I asked you first last time, so you asked me this time.
Sure.
What's your...
In honor of Mission Impossible 6 coming out, your mission, should you choose to accept it. All right, flashback to your graduation. This is your film program.
Okay.
Your parents and all your friends are there. So even the ones that missed.
Okay.
Okay. So it's a happy time. You just graduated from this long program.
Yep.
Would you run around naked with a graduate cap taped to your penis? With a graduate cap taped to your penis for $1 million.
So I'm assuming I have to have a hard on because how is it gonna stay? This is the logistics I'm thinking of.
It could be like a mini one.
Wow, you asshole! I want a full size.
You gotta think of some Viagra or something. So it might be a little cold.
Is it like? So is it like? It's just like I'm trying to. Is it hooked on or is it?
It's just like taped. Like taped to the top of it.
Taped to the. And I have to run around for where? This
basically
the conjugation. Just
be like, hey, Leo to Leo. You just pick up your period.
Absolutely, 2 million. That would give me.
2 million. All right. Is it $1 million?
$1 million?
Yeah.
I would do it for $1 million. I would do it for $1 million. 100,000 I would do it for. I would do it for. If we're just really gonna go down the costs.
Really?
Yeah.
Why would you do that to yourself?
What do you mean? Why not?
You wouldn't embarrass yourself? Everyone see your ass and your dick?
So let me tell you something. At this point in time, I've just graduated from a long program, right? I have my credentials that say I've completed this program. I am fit to work in the film industry.
And you're gonna prove it right now.
I'm gonna prove it right now, and I got the balls to do it. And with that money, I could literally start up a company.
All right.
Fix all my lawsuits that I probably occurred during that whole. So fix all my lawsuits that have occurred during that whole stunt. Use that remaining money to start up whatever company, and use the rest to invest into like other equipment and stuff like that. All because I went streaking.
I got the perfect production company name.
What?
Two Balls Production Company. Two Balls.
That was no. What? Why? That's the best you could think of?
Okay, it's not the best. Do you have a quick one?
No.
I know it's fine. Okay,
it's fine. I'm trying to.
Maybe we'll come back on it. Or message us on Instagram or Twitter or whatever, and maybe you come up with our production type of name.
That involves a penis.
It's not. I don't know. Whatever. All right, so that's mine.
Okay.
What's yours?
Mine is okay. Where did I put it?
Great.
I have it here.
I love that you almost lost it.
Okay. You're in a schoolyard.
Oh God.
Right? You wandered onto a schoolyard.
Right.
There's a virus that's spreading around. Right? It's infected all the kindergartens.
The fire?
No, an infection.
Oh,
like
infection.
a virus.
Okay.
It's infected all the kindergartens.
Right.
How many kindergartens do you think you can beat up?
What, I need to kill them?
What? Yeah.
Because they're zombies, right?
Yeah, they're zombies, but they're like kindergartens. How many do you think you could, like, in this, there's no escape out of the schoolyard. Okay. So you gotta just, and they're coming in like hordes.
So I want to preface this. They're zombies, okay?
No, actually, no, they're not zombies.
What?
They're fully, like, they're little kids, and they want you to play Fortnite, but you gotta kick the shit out of them.
No, dude, answer that one. Why? Because I can picture it 10 years from now be the new James Gunn. So, how are the zombies? Zombies is not bad.
Okay.
All right, another one.
So they're possessed. They're
demons?
They're possessed demon kindergartens who want you to play Fortnite. No, what are fucking kindergartens like? They want you to watch Barney, but you don't want to watch Barney. Okay. You're here to kick ass and chew bubble gum.
So like what? If I punch them, they get cured, kind of.
What? No. You gotta take them out. It's either they get you or You get that. Like, how long do you think you can last? Like, how many things?
We're down this rabbit hole. Okay, no, there's a lot of them.
Okay, yeah.
We're gonna probably say like what, 100?
Let's say there's 100, and let's say the average kindergarten is 4 years old, stands around
maybe like
2 feet,
It's a little too small, no?
2 feet. How old is a kindergarten? Like 2.
Let's say 3'5".
What the fuck? What are these kids? 3'5", bro. I'm 5'7". You say these motherfuckers are like half my size.
It's not that high. It's not that tall.
3'5", bro.
Okay, all right.
Look at this. I'll take my slipper off. Give me some measurements. So that's 1.
You know, this is so great for the podcast.
They can't see what I'm doing.
They can't see.
So listen.
Okay. Anyway. Okay.
That's like almost 3 feet right here.
You're pointing to a mic stand.
Yeah, a mic stand's like 3 feet. So 3 feet.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay.
So if they're like this tall, 3 feet.
All right.
How many of them can you kick the shit out?
Honestly, I think I can probably like I maybe would get through like 4.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Only because I think it'd be fucked up after a while. I'd be like, Jesus Christ.
You would tell yourself.
What are they gonna do to me though?
They're trying to kill you, Michael. They're trying to kill you.
What the fuck does the Barney thing have to do with it?
They're just trying. It's just motivation. It's just they are kindergarten. They're trying to kill you.
Trying to kill me so they can watch Barney with me and like forever?
Yeah, they're trying to kill you.
Forever and ever.
Yeah, basically, they're trying to kill you.
Oh, okay. Then in that case, then I don't feel that bad. Okay,
So now is that number gonna increase?
Yeah, probably like. Do I have any items?
No, it's just
my brain.
Brain, like what can you think of? Because I have a couple of ideas I can give you, but what I would do.
I would probably use one of the kids.
Yes, yes, that's what I was thinking too.
just like it'd be like a. I'll use one for like javelin, like.
Good job. You can
use one. The other one as like a sword, like.
Just like a 2-hander. Imagine you like just pick up like 2 like you know Whiplash from Iron Man 2. You just want to see where he's and he's just dragging the whips across the ground. You got like that. There'd be like maybe like a fat kid. You gotta really like. You know he's like a boss. He's like a mini boss. You know you gotta.
Maybe he's like my shield, a human shield.
No, the fat kid's gotta always be like the mini boss. Like he's like,
the mini boss.
You know, like they'd probably be like different classes of kindergartens. So you
know what the smart thing with bosses in any video game? You always gotta get the smaller ones first, because the small ones fuck you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People always think you gotta. Yeah. So there's a big, heavy-set kid, and he's like slow, but he does a lot of damage. Then you know, like there's like a little like scrawny.
But he's fast.
Fast, yeah. He's
fast.
He's the kid. He only eats like 1 grain of cereal per morning.
That's right.
He's got like a bowl cut and like
That's right.
And he's like super skinny. Then you could probably you could probably break both of his arms and then grab him by the legs. And
this is so messed up.
And then you can use him like a shuriken. Throw him like a ninja star.
You know how you chose not to participate in the favorite porn site last time? Yeah, this is kind of mine. Alright, I think, you know what? We're probably gonna end the podcast right there. You fucking you always throw in like one fucked up thing, don't you? It just compels you.
Oh, there's a bunch in there, a little bit.
Jesus Christ.
Wait till the later episodes, buddy. We're gonna dig down this hole.
And that, kids, is what's called a tease. Is what Leo thinks he is on Tinder, but no.
I am, because what? Because everyone thinks I'm like 6 feet, and they meet me, and I'm just like looking up. Hey,
surprise!
What's good? You ready to go check out the Shire?
You poor son of a bitch.
It's okay.
All right. Well, thanks for listening to the Hat Trick Podcast, episode 3. We really appreciate you listening to our stupidness and our idiocracy.
Idiocy. I don't know. Anyways, if you've gotten this far into the podcast, give yourself a pat on the shoulder. make sure you chug some holy water and see a priest or any other religious figure, because Lord knows if you sat through that lightning round, oh my God, you need help.
Yes. We're terrible people. We're terrible people.
Well, yes, just a bit. But make sure you check us out on Twitter. You can follow Michael at Mike D Nack. That's MikeDnac. And follow me at DeLeo at DI_LEO. Make sure you check us out on Facebook and Instagram.
Yep. All right, guys. Well, I really appreciate you listening.
Oh, links will be in the description box below.
Okay, great. All right, guys. Have a great rest of your day, night, whatever time you're choosing to listen to this. And we are going to sign off. This has been the Hat Trick Podcast with Mike and
Leo. Signing off. Goodbye.
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 We shouldn't sing anymore, dude. We were awful. Why did you sound like you get like an orgasm, but like the after part of it? It wasn't even like the during.
Was it good for you? It was good for me.
How many times you orgasm? How many times? Alright, see you guys.
See ya.